Numbers 3. When we left off, we had 4 groups of giant tribes, the Levites guarding the tent with the tabernacle, and nothing of interest happening anywhere at all unless you have some kind of compass fetish. All of these people have no drama whatsoever. That's how you know they're making all of this up. In real life, you could put 5 people together and there would be sworn enemies and a blossoming romance. Now we have hundreds of thousands of people in a desert and still nothing. Oh well, I guess we can learn more about the Levites then, since they're clearly the troublemakers in the group. This is the account of the family of Aaron and Moses at the time the Lord spoke to Moses at Mount Sinai. The names of the sons of Aaron were Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Those were the names of Aaron's sons, the anointed priests, who were ordained to serve as priests. Nadab and Abihu, however, died before the Lord when they made an offering with unauthorized fire before him in the desert of Sinai. They had no sons, so Eleazar and Ithamar served as priests during the lifetime of their father Aaron. Did you catch that? They died. Like it's a passive thing and they were sick on their deathbeds. No! They were murdered because they made fire incorrectly, and God, with his anger management issues, burned them to death. And the only reason we're told about that random killing is because it explains why the 2 other sons of Aaron are working as priests and not all of Aaron's sons. The Lord said to Moses, "Bring the tribe of Levi and present them to Aaron the priest to assist him. They are to perform duties for him and for the whole community at the tent of meeting by doing the work of the tabernacle. They are to take care of all the furnishings of the tent of meeting, fulfilling the obligations of the Israelites by doing the work of the tabernacle. Give the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They are the Israelites who are to be given wholly to him. Appoint Aaron and his sons to serve as priests. Anyone else who approaches the sanctuary is to be put to death." Sure, why not? The Levites, the outcasts, are under Aaron's control, and his job is to make sure the tabernacle is secure and the tent is clean, and any strangers who try to enter are shot. Gotta protect God's house because it contains the commandments, including the one that says thou shalt not kill, and if anyone tries to intrude, they shalt be killed. The Lord also said to Moses, "I have taken the Levites from among the Israelites in place of the first male offspring of every Israelite woman. The Levites are mine, for all the firstborn are mine. When I struck down all the firstborn in Egypt, I set apart for myself every firstborn in Israel, whether human or animal. They are to be mine. I am the Lord." That sounds nice, but it's really a low-key threat. God's saying he murdered every firstborn son in Egypt, and he would totally kidnap the firstborns from the Israelites. But instead, he's just taking an entire tribe of people. So, be grateful God didn't tear apart your families, Israelites. You owe God for not stealing your kids. Because he loves you. And no one else, apparently. The Lord said to Moses in the desert of Sinai, "Count the Levites by their families and clans. Count every male a month old or more." So Moses counted them, as he was commanded by the word of the Lord. Oh, so now we count the Levites after skipping them during the census. Not because they have to form an army, but because we need to know how many bodyguards God has. Notice that women still don't matter. And apparently, neither do male babies who were born in the past month. For people who insist life begins at conception, the reality is God doesn't care about babies until at least week 5 post-birth. And even then, it's only about half of them. It's likely that we're only counting from a month on because there was so much infant mortality at the time. But also, isn't that God's fault anyway? Why are we just ignoring that? As the saying goes, God is a prolific abortionist who has an infanticide fetish. Okay, I don't know if that's a saying, but it totally should be. These were the names of the sons of Levi: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. These were the names of the Gershonite clans: Libni and Shimei. The Kohathite clans: Amram, Issachar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The Merarite clans: Mali and Mushi. These were the Levite clans according to their families. I will never understand why we care about every single person here. The writers have the benefit of hindsight. Just tell us who the important people are. I am not keeping track otherwise. To Gershon belonged the clans of the Libnites and Shimeites. These were the Gershonite clans. The number of all the males a month old or more who were counted was 7,500. The Gershonite clans were to camp on the west behind the tabernacle. The leader of the families of the Gershonites was Elisaph, son of Lyle. At the tent of meeting, the Gershonites were responsible for the care of the tabernacle and tent, its coverings, the curtain at the entrance to the tent of meeting, the curtains of the courtyard, the curtain at the entrance to the courtyard surrounding the tabernacle and altar, and the ropes, and everything related to their use. The entire Gershon family is in charge of maintaining the fancy curtains and coverings and ropes. The whole family, all 7,500 people, this is their life now, just maintaining God's luxurious lifestyle. What a waste. Hire a few people to do the job and pay them well. Don't enslave an entire group of people and sentence them to a life of ironing your drapes or whatever the heck they're doing. These people better unionize. To Kohath belong the clans of the Amramites, Israelites, Hebronites, and Uzzielites. These were the Kohathite clans. The number of all the males a month old or more was 8,600. The Kohathites were responsible for the care of the sanctuary. The Kohathite clans were to camp on the south side of the tabernacle. The leader of the families of the Kohathite clans was Elizaphan, son of Uzziel. They were responsible for the care of the ark, the table, the lampstand, the altars, the articles of the sanctuary used in ministering, the curtain, and everything related to their use. The chief leader of the Levites was Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest. He was appointed over those who were responsible for the care of the sanctuary. Another family whose entire life is taking care of the furniture. And also the curtains. Again, for some reason. To Merari belonged the clans of the Maliites and the Mushiites. These were the Merarite clans. The number of all the males a month old or more who counted was 6,200. The leader of the families of the Merarite clans was Zuriel, son of Abihail. They were to camp on the north side of the tabernacle. The Merarites were appointed to take care of the frames of the tabernacle, its crossbars, posts, bases, all its equipment, and everything related to their use, as well as the posts of the surrounding courtyard with their bases, tent pegs, and ropes. This family is in charge of the carpentry. All 6,200 of them. Totally makes sense. Moses and Aaron and his sons were to camp to the east of the tabernacle, toward the sunrise, in front of the tent of meeting. They were responsible for the care of the sanctuary on behalf of the Israelites. Anyone else who approached the sanctuary was to be put to death. The total number of Levites counted at the Lord's command by Moses and Aaron according to their clans, including every male a month old or more, was 22,000. We know all this. Can we just be done now? Actually, wait. We were told that the Levites included the families of Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. But there were 7,500 Gershonites, 8,600 Kohathites, and 6,200 Merarites. That's 22,300, not 22,000. How did we just lose 300 people? How come the Bible people can't add? This is the book of Numbers. They only had one job. The Lord said to Moses, Count all the firstborn Israelite males who are a month old or more and make a list of their names. Take the Levites for me in place of all the firstborn of the Israelites, and the livestock of the Levites in place of all the firstborn of the livestock of the Israelites. I am the Lord. Sure, why not? Just steal everything from the Levites. We've already enslaved them, might as well steal their best animals too. God saved the Israelites from the Egyptians, so basically they owe him. And now God is cashing in on that IOU by saying, I won't take your firstborn kids, but I will take that entire tribe of people. You're all okay with that, right? And all the Israelites are like, deal. So Moses counted all the firstborn of the Israelites as the Lord commanded him. The total number of firstborn males a month old or more listed by name was 22,273. Wow, a realistic number. Someone got the memo that no one believed all those perfectly rounded numbers and made up a more specific one. Well done. But let's run some numbers here again. We're talking about 22,273 firstborn sons among the Israelites. We already know from the previous chapter that there are 603,550 male Israelites over the age of 20. I think it's safe to assume then that there are at least 1 million male Israelites over the age of a month, right? But only 22,273 firstborn sons? On average then, these families must have had about 45 kids each. And that's an underestimate. I'm sure I did the math wrong somewhere there. But I also think I'm more concerned that none of the Bible people even tried to do the math. Anyway, there are 22,000 Levites and 22,273 Israelites. Small difference, but that shouldn't really matter, right? The Lord also said to Moses, "Take the Levites in place of all the firstborn of Israel, and the livestock of the Levites in place of their livestock. The Levites are to be mine. I am the Lord. To redeem the 273 firstborn Israelites who exceed the number of the Levites, collect 5 shekels for each one, according to the sanctuary shekel, which weighs 20 gerahs. Give the money for the redemption of the additional Israelites to Aaron and his sons." Why is this necessary? Were we expecting both tribes to have the same number of people? Weird that every firstborn has a price tag. 5 shekels. Seems cheap, but God will always find a way to get money to his priests. Incidentally, there is a Jewish ceremony that some believers perform in which a father is supposed to redeem his newborn firstborn son 31 days after his birth by giving 5 shekels, or maybe $5, to a particular kind of priest who's not technically a rabbi. Whatever the case, that tradition stems from this passage. So Moses collected the redemption money from those who exceeded the number redeemed by the Levites. From the firstborn of the Israelites, he collected silver weighing 1,365 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekel. Moses gave the redemption money to Aaron and his sons, as he was commanded by the word of the Lord. How did Moses figure out who counted as excess Israelites? It doesn't say that he got the money from the families of the youngest ones, or the oldest. Did he just stop the first 273 families he found and tell them, "I need cash, or else"? One Bible scholar says Moses may have conducted a lottery, which is just a lot of work for something so ridiculous. So now we know what the Levites are doing forever. They're just all cleaning up God's house and all the stuff inside. Thousands of them, just sentenced to a lifetime of cleaning and maintenance because God can't be bothered to do it himself. You know what I would like to see? The contract. Or maybe these workers should walk off the job so God learns how to take care of himself. I'm sure God would just murder them, but also he needs them because everyone else is forming an army. I'm just saying, they left a lot of very important details out of this chapter.